these front guys aren't running quite as quickly as they were.
Look at the flames coming out of the Suzuki's exhaust again. I have to tell you, he was waving his way into that braking area at Goddard's. Hayden +1, 10 laps. We're on lap 10 of the 19. Oh, and again, backing it right into Redgate. Did he lose that place? No, he hung on to it. Chris Walker, though, looked to me like he's running wide at Redgate there. Looking at Hayden with the rear end sitting right down with the tyre squirming for grip. There he is, James Hayden, second race winner at Brands Hatch. Fastest lap man in race 1 today.
Yeah, remember at Brands Hatch he made a few adjustments between the two races which improved his motorcycle dramatically and allowed him to clear off with the win in the second race. Well, so maybe he'll have the same effect today. James
Hayden likes the old 17-inch front tyre, of course, on these bikes, whereas most people are running 16.5 now. He told me that the 17-inch tyres are harder and harder to get hold of at the moment. If I remember rightly, Carl Fogarty in the World Superbike Championship likes that 17-inch front wheel as well. Just makes the bike work a little bit better for Hayden and certainly for Fogarty. So maybe Hodgson has had to go to a 16.5 for this race. I don't know. I'll have to ask him afterwards. Down at the S's. Walker, Reynolds, Hodgson, Hayden, and Dizzy's right there as well.
Yeah, everybody looks like they've relaxed into sort of that mid-race. Watch the guy in front effort at the moment. You see that he's all stacked back up again. The top 5 are running within probably a second covering them all. It's the word relaxed that I was struggling with a little bit there, Scott, I've got to say. Yeah, it's in a manner of speaking, Keith.
So then, well, you're still a racer, of course. It's been a while for me. We're at Goddard's. Still, Walker comes to the line. Lap boards being hung out over pit lane now. Not that they mean to look at them too much. There it is.
Yeah, the +1 was a bit optimistic last lap, I think.
I think it probably was, yes. 9 laps left to go then. Walker.
Back end of Reynolds' bike moving around just as much as Walker's there.
Yeah, it did. Out of Redgate, I think they're all having a job to put the power down out of Redgate and along Hollywood. This is the part of the track, though, where this man really has brightened his act up from race 1. Just 1 and a bit seconds covering the top men. As the Suzuki screams flat out in 5th all the way round Swans Curve, just spinning that rear wheel into the braking area for this corner McLean. Then a short blast up a gear up towards the blind braking point and over the hill into Coppice Corner. Very difficult. Scott got close to talking about it in the last race, but really you have to ride a motorcycle approaching 130 miles an hour over the hill blind into a right-hand corner to realise just how difficult that turn is.
Yeah, it's a double apex right-hander as well, so you never know quite where to be on that. He seems like he's got a lot of racetrack, but bear in mind the sort of speed you go.
Donington Park has spent a lot of money this winter tidying this track up and making it even safer. It's one of the safest tracks in the world anyway. Oh, and certainly the safest track as far as the British Championship is concerned. And really, Donington not resting on their laurels. They've spent lots of money developing the track, making it better for the riders. Some of the spectators might not like it as much because the barriers have been moved back towards them. More flames from the exhaust to Chris Walker, right into the cooking John Reynolds there in second place. So Reynolds on bike number 3, has Hodgson back with him again. Incredible stuff. Look at this, Reynolds round the outside, not quite.
Oh, Hodgson's having a look up the inside now, so they've all decided they want to move around a bit.
Well, Hodgson and Reynolds up against it on the track and off it half the time as well. They're far too polite to actually get nose to nose in the paddock, but certainly there's been a bit of verbal over the last few weeks regarding some of the coming together.
Hodgson's been passed by Hayden.
Oh, great move from Hayden there. So Hayden riding shotgun for his teammate Reynolds. We now have the National Tyre Suzuki of Walker still leading from John Reynolds on the Reve Red Bull Ducati. Then his teammate, number 5, James Hayden there. The likeable man, the doctor's son from Berkhamsted is where he lives now. Oh, Hodgson having a look back at him. I've got to say, Hodgson and Hayden really are the youth of motorcycling in this country. They're both around 26, 27 years old between them. And really, we've got to look to them to do the stuff for us in the world, including Chris Walker, of course.
I was just thinking that his looked like he was the guy that was struggling to keep with the group, but now he's having a look to make headway into it.
Well, what's he, 37 years old now as well. John Reynolds is heading up there too, so really British Championship racing is probably all we're going to see from them, apart from the odd foray into World Superbikes. Oh, the other 3 men, yes.
And it was Hodgson that ran wide in sympathy for Walker's move.
I think Hodgson was watching him too closely. He is absolutely outrageous, Chris Walker. I tell you what, you can watch him on his own, couldn't you? Just need a video of Walker. You'd never be out of sleep.
worry about you, Keith.
Yes, I know. It's okay. Julian Ryder once bought me a saddle. Get that old bag off the track. So, into Redgate. Walker, I was about to talk about Julian Ryder buying me a Ducati sound CD for Christmas, but I won't go on about that. Down Hollywood, Walker leads. Second place, still Reynolds, but closing. Then it's Hayden, then it's Hodgson. Oh, is he still there? Mackenzie, a long 9 seconds back in 6th place.
In fact, this is about the closest it's been all race, 1.4 seconds covering the first 5.
Yeah, well, you've got to say, what is earth going to happen in the closing stages of this race? Where's it all going to come from? Look at this on-board shot through Swans Curve out towards McLean's now, into the braking area. It's such a difficult corner as the shadow catches up and through goes Hayden.
It was interesting to see how tight a line that Walker holds into the right hand, and that's where he was stuffing it under the inside of Hodgson.
Well, Hayden has just stuffed it under the inside of his teammate, John Reynolds. So if Reynolds thought he was going to make it a double and get any help from Hayden, his teammate, forget that. Hayden is looking for a race 2 win, just like he did at Brands Hatch.
There is no love lost at all between any of these guys.
Not on the track, that's for sure. More flames from the Suzuki.
Yeah, that's just a warning.
Yeah, isn't it just? Get too close, they'll melt your numbers. I'll tell you what, though, if there's 2 men that you see side by side that aren't going to give way, it's the 2 that are in front at the moment. Stalker and Hayden. Hayden is a tough fella. You wouldn't guess it to talk to him, that's for sure. But I'll tell you what, in the dogfight between these 2, I wouldn't want to throw money on either of them.
No, I think it's going to be pretty aggressive riding we're going to see now.
More flames from Walker. This is Goddard's corner. We are about to start lap 14 of 19. There goes Rennie through the picture. But number 2, Chris Walker, starts this lap from 5. Hayden. Then it's 3, John Reynolds. Then 4, Neil Hodgson. And still hanging in there, the Scotsman. That's the Virgin Mobile Yamaha of Steve Hislop.
Yeah, Hayden looking really comfortable here. He's broached that gap up to Walker. And he's obviously pretty confident come second races.
Yeah, he's obviously warmed himself up. He's not a morning man then, clearly. So that's the gap back from 1st place to 6th place. Neil Mackenzie is now up to 11.8 odd seconds. So a long way back to Neil Mackenzie. He's not fighting in this championship just yet. But
yeah, just goes to show the pace that these leaders are running at.
Yeah, don't write him off yet, though. Through to McLean's and down through 2 gears. You saw there, banging it back down through the gearbox there off Walker. But right there is Hayden. Hayden closing right up on Walker. Up towards Coppins now. That difficult little right-hander. Hayden looking absolutely menacing. Squeezing the power. Oh! Off goes Hayden. Squeezing the power on. Absolutely too much. Down in the dirt goes James Hayden. That was a very, very fast high side indeed. Yeah. That bike got out from under him very quickly. In fact, quicker than I've seen one for a while, Scott.
Yeah, that was really aggressive. The Dunlop tyres are normally very forgiving, but this just whips around. Maybe he was holding a different line so he could keep trying on his side.
Big time. Well, that is a classic high side when it pitches you straight over the high side of the motorcycle.
Reynolds didn't really have that much room to go either, so he's lost 2 places out of that.
Yeah, it's cost him dearly, but not as dearly as his teammate James Hayden, because he may have picked up injury there. So we look at Hodgson now, bike number 4, in 2nd place now, because still leading is Chris Walker, and away at the front, Walker in the closing stages of this race. It is only a 19-lap race, of course. He starts lap 15 now. It's all down to whether Hodgson can get some smooth laps in and close down Chris Walker in the closing stages. Still Hizzy there in 3rd place, and luckless John Reynolds. Oh, there's the Red Bull, part of the team that belongs to James Hayden, about to walk off a pit wall. First back to 2nd, 1.3 seconds. That's worth keeping an eye on now. Chris Walker back to this man, Neil Hodgson, on bike number 4. But Hizzy is still there.
Yeah, it's given Walker a bit of breathing space. Now, if Hizzy catches Hodgson, they need to just settle down and try and catch Walker as opposed to fall over each other.
You've got to feel a bit sorry for John Reynolds. The same thing happened, well, not quite the same thing, but in race 2 at Brands Hatch, he ended up with a bit of a melee. He got himself involved in there, and he slipped back in race 2 at Brands. Now we've got the same thing at Donington, where his teammate basically flew over the handlebars right in front of him, and Reynolds is all ready to take avoiding action.
Yeah, like I said, we've got into that part of the race where everybody gets a little bit more aggressive because they want to sort themselves out. Not that long to go. You don't know if you're going to be able to make it past on the last lap, so you try and get it done a little bit earlier.
We're down at the S's. This is the battle for 2nd place. 4 is Hodgson, 8 is Hislop, and of course number 3, John Reynolds.
Yeah, Hislop can smell a podium now, so maybe he's going to get a bit of a result out of all these pole positions he keeps making.
He needs to be up there. Is he? Paul Brown, his teammate, picked up a penalty for a jump start in race 1. But really, Brownie yet getting used to the other Virgin Mobile Yamaha. Team number 1, though, must be Steve Hislop. There he is in 3rd place. But
Reynolds is closing in on them.
Yeah, back marker's coming up as well. Reynolds is absolutely, he is just such a great rider. Chris Wilson is bike number 34, another privateer. The yellow-plated bike, and Walker dives up the inside of Redgate. So he'll be through nice and cleanly. Next up is Hodgson.
Yeah, Hodgson was probably going to catch him at the bottom of Crane Curve.